somehow I ran out of camera juice. It went into sleep mode, so I missed out on telling you a lot of great notes, and but you got to read it. You got to read the book. It's really good. It's very much worth reading. And there's a few things that I want to mention about it.
You can pick it up by the red cover.
Yeah. It's awesome. She did a great job. At one point, one thing that I loved, so I'd recommend this book for everyone. Again, I think that it should be used in either junior high school or high school as a textbook for sex ed. Sex ed is ridiculous, and women don't know their own bodies. I recently talked to not so recently, but I fairly recently talked to a woman who she obviously thought that she was peeing through her vagina. So there's a problem,
That was a grown-up.
Yes, I mean, women look at men and they think, whoa, well, man pees through penis, woman must pee through vagina, because they can't see down there. Get a mirror. You gotta know. And honestly, girls need to be taught. This is ridiculous. There's a few things that I wanted to mention, and I really need to just mention them as I go along, because I forget what I wanted to talk about. She was mentioning about tampons and how they're not exempt from taxes. So in a lot of places they're taxed, or menstrual products generally are taxed. And it seems like she doesn't think that that's fair, that menstrual products are taxed. Disposable menstrual products should be taxed, I think, heavily. I don't think that, it's handy to have these things around for if you need something in the car or in your purse or whatever, just for an emergency. But honestly, what shouldn't be taxed is the cloth menstrual pads and
the reusable.
Yeah, and perhaps the cup, but I don't know if I'm thrilled about the cup, unless, it makes it handy if you're a little Wiccan lady and you're using your menstrual blood for spells and stuff, but otherwise I don't know that it's entirely safe to be putting too many things up yourself too regularly. Unless there's a good reason for it. It's just not worth it,
Sounds dangerous.
Yeah, it's better to just have a pad. It's not a big deal. Just washable pads. There's nothing progressive about a woman that wears tampons. I used to think that I was really modern because I used OB tampons, so I wasn't afraid of touching myself. So I was making it obvious by, having no applicator, right? And it doesn't make you cooler or anything like that. You do need to be comfortable with touching yourself, but because that body belongs to you, and you need to know it so you can protect it. What else was I going to talk about? I was going to talk about now, like, my period was way out of whack. Like, obviously out of whack, really serious problems. I had a hard time booking pap smear tests because when was I not bleeding? Like, so much blood. And very frustrating. And I couldn't get any kind of test results that showed that anything was wrong, and ridiculous. And I had been on oral contraceptives, and I wish that I had never been on them.
That's what they meant by hormonal stuff, right? She just used a different...
She
wanted to emphasize
She did want to emphasize it a lot, and I appreciate that, because for example, when I was on them, and then before I was on them, when I was a teen, my period was normal, And it was only 3 days long, and it wasn't a big deal. It was fine. I mean, yeah, I had cramping that sometimes it was so severe I couldn't walk. Big deal. It was nothing like what I had in store for me in my 20s and 30s. That was ridiculous. And it was insane. And having to try to work like that was ridiculous. Anyway, and I was having to take a leave as soon as the leave came out because nothing else worked well enough. And honestly, I don't think it's normal for you to get a migraine while you're having your period. Yeah, I did. But you know what? As soon as I had surgery, gone. Right away. And all the problems, my period returned back to when I was a teenager. So 2 decades of my life were just horrible because of this. This, like, bad period, nobody can possibly have a worse period than I had for 2 decades, almost. So...
It's because you had bad doctors.
Yeah.
But then 9/10 of
But
them are
good
bad.
luck finding them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because as soon as I got this doctor, a family doctor, after I had the surgery, and from the sounds of things, I'm lucky that he didn't give me a hysterectomy. I'm very, very thankful to that doctor that he did not give me a hysterectomy. But the general practitioner that I went to afterwards, he was trying to convince me, like I was telling him, well, I'm going to the fertility clinic and this and that. And in the same appointment with him, he suggested that I start taking birth control pills. And I'm like, I just told you I'm going to the fertility clinic and this and that. What are you know?
IQ in 2 figures. Oh.
Like, ridiculous. So here he was trying to push the pill on me again. And it's like, wow. You know, that is like not anything I would need. And plus...
we're not going to mention names, but that was that bozo.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, what a bozo.
Absolute idiot.
Yeah.
So, and, well, I don't think he's an idiot, actually. I think he's...
well, he might have some psychological
He's a sadist.
Problems. You're talking about the big guy that I had? Or
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Well, he's got some major league problems. He is,
So,
I wouldn't say psycho, but he is badly neurotic. He's got some amazing problems, and he doesn't keep them to himself. You know, like a good neurotic person is all wrapped up in themselves, but neurotic people have trouble with, well, he's a sociopath, basically. So that's what that guy is.
But yeah, there's a lot of problems that cause abnormal menstruation, and yeah, my diet is better, and like I said, my period's like I had when I was a teenager, and sure, I get some pretty nice mood swings and stuff to accompany it, but whatever. You know, I can deal with this because I know what I had, and this is great.
Yeah, you're really kind to that guy.
Working up the slope towards the period again. I don't fear them anymore. It was so horrible.
But you're nice to that guy. I want to mention the guy's name. I won't because you don't want to. But I could mention his name because he messed me around. But I'm not going to. But any women out there, these guys are horrible to regular patients, but they're way worse to women.
Yeah.
And I'd really like to see a hashtag #MeToo movement started with for misogynistic doctors practicing misogyny. They're practicing misogynists. So this is not microaggression, it's macroaggression.
I'm very thankful for so many of the tips in this book. And I didn't know that I could get my own speculum online. Is that what it's called? I can't remember.
It basically means mirror, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know, a little... Anyway.
A little Latin word.
So I didn't know I could get one of those online.
Germans get
so
their
that's
word
awesome.
Spiegel.
I think, maybe I might get one, although I'm probably going to go into perimenopause if I'm not in it already, but I mean, looking at this, maybe I'm not in it already. I thought I was maybe in my 30s or 20s, but I didn't know what was going on. Honestly, it was so horrible. And, I did stop eating so much soy, and I was eating loads of it. So that could have contributed to the problem, I realize now. That was probably
you're being
making
responsible. Like you were replacing meat.
I was,
right?
yeah,
So,
but
I think there are ways like lots of
like
beans,
this,
right?
like the quinoa,
yeah, beans, nuts,
kale.
Yeah.
Kale's really high in protein.
There you go. So it's possible to
You can do it.
To do stuff without soy. The whole thing is soy. They've got the soy products so good. They're like meat.
Yeah,
so much like meat.
It's just
like
so
I was born a vegetarian.
Right? That's the problem. You get these convenient processed foods, and you're trying to work. You already
most people want meat. Well, I can't. It's so good. It's so close to meat. I can't stand eating it.
Yeah,
because
but
it seems to me it was almost alive.
The thing is it's so hard when you're a woman and you're already exhausted and you have these health problems and they just keep getting worse, and you're like, I can't possibly find the energy to do the 8-hour shifts anymore, and you're like, how can I keep myself alive? You're frantically trying to just live. And so you eat the instant foods. This meal, it took me quite a long time to cook, I have to admit, and I'm fortunate that I'm not working, so I'm able to do this. But if I was working,
but even so, it took a lot of time and energy and thought.
Yeah, it's 2 meals worth of food, but yeah, you're right. But it did take a lot, and it's not something that I could have done when I was working.
I got to tell you, I can't stand cooking or preparing meals because it takes too long.
It does.
Like I'm a good food preparer, but it's only good for like I'm good at throwing a sandwich together. It has to be, or making toast.
Or cereal.
Or
you still like making cereal?
Yeah, I can't put milk on because so I just pour water on it. And there we go. So I'm great at that kind of stuff. Or peeling an orange. Wow. Even peeling an egg that's been boiled for me seems to take me too much time. So.
But yeah, I don't know if I was going to mention it. Oh, I wanted to mention one other thing. Is this book was published in 2019, and at one point in the book, she talked about people hiking and that they might want to hike and learn languages and stuff. And I thought, I wonder if she saw my blog post and felt sorry for me for all of my awful menstrual problems that I had and wrote this book. And if so, thank you. And I hope that this helps women in their 20s. I wish that I had this book available to me in my 20s.
That was published this year?
Yes.
It's amazing.
So
it's already looking beat up. Because you were just going through it?
It was such a good book. I'm so thankful for Amanda Laird for publishing this book. Thank you so much, and thank you for the government for funding the publication of this book.
For once, they got it
because
right.
This will help people if they read it, and young women need all the help they can get with this because they're not going to get it from their doctors. They're not. So, read. And if my blog did nothing else but encourage somebody to write this book, which maybe it did, and I would like to think that, then it's all worthwhile. So, thank you.